Welcome to Grapes and Debates, a podcast where we'll uncork some incredible wine and debate varietals of issues within the restaurant industry, one glass at a time. And now, your hosts and owners of SoNapa Grille.
This is episode 87 of Grapes and Debates. And for those of you that are listening and watching, my name's Adam Barringer. I am the founder of SoNapa Grille, here with my business partner, Chris Botting.
Hi, everybody.
This is a Zoom call, a little different than us being live or in one of the restaurants. And we have a special guest who I am so excited to announce. We have Danielle Frank, and she is the author of A Wine Lover's Guide to Parenting. Danielle, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you both for having me. Excited to be on.
Why don't you tell us, I have the Cliff Notes version of the book, but why don't you tell us a little bit, one, about your background, two, about the book, and three, your inspiration for writing the book.
Absolutely. So my background, I used to work in the film industry as a publicist for a major studio doing international PR. And that's what brought me out to California. And I decided to trade red carpets for red wine. And I fell into the wine and spirits industry over 21 years ago. I started with Bacardi USA, was there for over 10 years.
Wow.
But I am a big wine drinker. I love wine and wanted to expand my breadth of experience as well. And, my professional experience. So I joined Moet Hennessy over 11 years ago. And, Moet Hennessy has a beautiful portfolio of not only spirits, Belvedere, Hennessy, the best champagnes in the world, Dom Perignon, Veuve Clicquot, Moet and Chandon, Krug, Ruinart, but a beautiful selection of wine, still wines as well, with Joseph Phelps, Cloudy Bay, Newton, Terrazas. So yeah, I've been in this wine and spirits, this fabulous industry for over 21 years. Even though I'm only 21, it's very bizarre. And yeah, so as I said, I love wine. I'm a big wine drinker. And working in the industry as well, there's always that desire. Part of the romanticism of being in this industry is it's all about storytelling. Whether I'm pitching my brands to clients or we're sharing it with customers, it's all about telling the story of the brand. And I love telling the story. I love making wine knowledge accessible. I don't know about you guys, but when I go out to dinner with friends, sometimes it's like, everybody feels so it's so daunting to look at the wine list and, they don't quite understand. So I love the idea of making wine knowledge approachable. So that's sort of where the book inspiration came from. I was watching my niece and nephew about 13 years ago. So I wrote this book 13 years ago. And they were young then. And although great kids, of course, kids tend to whine. And they were whining about something. And I said, Aunt Danielle drinks wine. She doesn't listen to wine. And that's where it all started. And from there, the light bulb went off. I've always had sort of a creative outlet. And I thought there's so many parallels in wine terminology to how I see my niece and nephew. And I'm Aunt Danielle to so many of my friends' kids. I saw so many parallels to the way these kids were being raised so well to wine terminology. And I thought it could just be a really fun book. It's 13 chapters of parallels of how to raise your kid related to wine terminology. It's written like a children's nursery rhyme, so it all rhymes, but it's clearly made for adults. And every time I use wine terminology, there's the definition at the bottom.
Okay. And to be clear for all the listeners and everybody that's watching, they're not your kids. It's your niece and nephew that inspired you to do this.
Yeah, I'm actually not a parent. Not to turn the sob story on, it's not really a sad story, but I was engaged and my fiance has 2 kids from a previous marriage and didn't want more kids. So I broke it off because that was a dream for me. Unfortunately, that didn't happen for me, but the end of nurturing doesn't happen there. I'm very involved in my niece and nephew's lives, and so many of my friends' kids, as I said, call me Aunt Danielle. And I think also when you're not in the trenches of it all in the battlefield, sometimes it's a little easier to have fun with it, right? And
Sure.
And see the fun parallels. When you're not directly, as I say, on the battlefield, it's easier to see that you can turn grape juice into a beautiful Cabernet.
That's
kind of forced
awesome.
parenting.
Yeah. Now, Chris has 3 children, and he
Yes, and a
has
grandchild.
mastered the fine art of drinking wine and parenting.
Oh, wow.
They do kind of go hand in hand. So I love the whole premise behind the book. So yeah, this is good stuff.
Thank you.
Really
Somebody
good.
asked me a question the other day, and I said, whether it's a glass of wine or kids, either one can stain your carpet.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
yeah, that is good. I like that.
So before going out to California, where are you from?
I'm a New Yorker, born and
Okay.
bred. My dad lived in the city, and then I was with my mom, New Jersey. So I was living in Manhattan 8 years before I moved out here, and I've been out in California. This Thursday, Thanksgiving, is my 23rd anniversary out here.
Wow.
Yeah, Adam and I both lived in Manhattan.
Oh, yeah?
We
Yeah,
did.
the
Yeah.
Lower East Side. Yeah.
Okay. I was Murray Hill, Gramercy.
Yep.
But
We were.
my company's based there, so I get to go back all the time, which
Oh,
is a
that's
perfect
awesome.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah, we were Peter Cooper Village in Stuyvesant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
So
little
now,
community
are
there.
you still with Moet Hennessy?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay.
I work in national accounts, so I oversee our resort subchannel. So I call on all the major resort groups, hotel groups at the corporate level. So Marriott, Four Seasons, Hilton, Hyatt, etc.
So okay, so there's a really good rep that we have. His name is Michael Morrissey here in the local market, and but I think it's more through the coastal division of Southern
Yes.
Glacier Wine and Spirits. But
Yes.
we've done Chandon tastings with him. We've tasted through Joseph Phelps. Right after Moet purchased them, he brought it anyway, and we try to make it out to California every year with our team. We haven't had a chance to go to Joseph Phelps, but we did recently get our shipment of Insignia.
Oh, it was such, I was so thrilled that we added that to our portfolio. We didn't have a Napa. We had Newton Winery. Unfortunately, we don't have
Yep.
Newton anymore. But having Joseph Phelps, really, I mean, I love their wines, and I'm so glad that the coastal rep is doing a great job with our brands with you guys, and we appreciate the support.
Sure is. And for a while, I'd like to say that we had Skyside on our menu because it was approachable by the glass, and unfortunately, that went
Absolutely.
away when Newton went away.
Yeah.
But still, just a great portfolio. And last week on our podcast, we showcased sparkling wines, not to be confused with champagnes. And of
Mhm.
course, one of the wines that we serve is Chandon. We serve it in the splits in the restaurant, but we had
Oh,
a nice
excellent.
bottle for the podcast.
Oh, well, we appreciate the support. And if you bring have you been out there since they've done the renovations in Napa?
No.
No.
Also, on your next trip, you need to go there. It's they created, they call it the Shandon Home, and it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and the sustainability and everything they put into it is just remarkable. It's really it's really a treat over there.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're definitely going to make a plan to be out there. Probably Chandon and Joseph Phelps.
Excellent. Well, you'll have
For
to let me
sure.
know.
Let's do sipper, scream. I give you the scenario, you give us the wine. Based on your book.
Okay.
All
So
right.
wait, say this again.
It's like this. A toddler paints the dog with yogurt. What kind of wine?
With yogurt, huh? I'm gonna go just a Chardonnay. Yogurt, I don't know. It doesn't seem that deep that
Yeah.
painted with yogurt. It's not like the dog is painted in
Yeah.
paint.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
don't
like a
think it's
start
that
to the
deep.
morning.
Yeah, so it just feels like a little light, a
Right.
little light white. Yeah.
Okay. Carpool drama and snack shaming in group chat.
Snack shaming. Well, then I think you got to step it up a notch and do a nice bubbles, whether it's, maybe a nice champagne, a little Ruinart, like step up the game big
Okay.
time. Ruinart's one of my favorite champagnes from our portfolio. So
Okay.
I'm always into having a glass of Ruinart.
Nice. All right. A team slams the door again and again.
That's bold. That's a bold move, Cotton. So I'm going with the bold cab.
Boom. You know what? That's what ChatGPT said you would say.
Really?
Yes.
No way. And I didn't have these questions beforehand. So for the listeners, this was
No.
all on the fly.
Organic.
So
Yes, on the fly.
It
I'm
said
glad
this is
I'm
what
glad
you
I
should have
matched the
said.
ChatGPT. What's that?
It said Cabernet because you need something bold, just like your argument. Favorite wine?
Style or brand or both?
All the above. If you could really
And
nail
and
it
and
down.
Napa only or just anywhere? I mean, I'll just I have like I said, I'm a big wine lover. In summer, particularly, I love whites. I love a Sancerre.
Okay.
I love Chablis. I was just in Paris and I could just drink. I mean, I love you like a glass of Chablis is cheaper than the food there. It's fantastic. And you can't get a bad glass. But a big Sauvignon Blanc drinker. I love we have Cloudy Bay Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, which I love.
Mhm.
But some Napa ones I really love is Saint Superi, and
yeah.
right next door, their Peju Winery. They have some great Sauvignon Blancs.
Yep.
And then when I move into reds, which is, even though I'm in California, it's chilly here right now. It's people in New York are probably screaming at me for saying it's chilly here. It's probably like 55 or 60. But I love Pinot Noirs. I love it from the Central Coast. We make beautiful Pinot Noirs, Dragonet, Carhartt, Austin Hope. But the Napa wines that I love, um, Saint Superi has some great reds as well. Camus, Jarvis, Robert Sinsky, and of course, Joseph Phelps makes some fantastic wines. But when I'm in France, I love a good Volnay, particularly because again, you can get a really nice bottle of Volnay for really inexpensive there. France is great for all of that.
Well, as most of our readers know, our name SoNapa is because we specialize in wines from Sonoma County and Napa Valley, hence the name SoNapa. That doesn't mean we don't venture out to Paso and the Austin Hope or Central Coast or Monterey or North Coast. But yeah, all those wines that you mentioned, awesome. Last time I was out there and I had never been, Peju was absolutely amazing. And I just knew them for their reds, but they have really some phenomenal whites as well. And they make more, I mean, they make probably, I tasted at least 10 different wines while I was
Their
at the tasting room.
wines, so many people don't know about it, and it's great. And I love when I go to Napa, like I've been so many times and I always usually make the route, and it's always key to understand, like, you don't want to be zigzagging. And I love that it's right next door to St. Superi. So
Right.
it's really convenient. And then you just add a couple more in down the street. It's perfect. It's a perfect day plan.
Yes. Saint Superi is awesome. They don't make a whole lot though. I think that they've got their cab, maybe a reserve cab and a Sauv Blanc.
They have some blends too.
Oh, do
And
they?
yeah, they've got
Okay.
some interesting wines that are at the winery as well. Really beautiful wines and different types of cabs. Yeah, they make beautiful wines. I love Saint Superi.
Yes, yes. And we're big supporters also of Camus and the Wagner family.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But the wines that you mentioned, all good.
Yeah, you can't get a bad wine in Napa, that's for sure.
Favorite restaurant out there in Napa?
You know, there is nothing like I have a friend that lives up in Napa, and so I spend a lot of time up there. There's nothing like Bouchon just sitting at the bar. It's like where all the locals go. First of all, it's a fantastic restaurant, but
Mhm.
just sitting at the bar, you feel like a local, and the food, I just love Bouchon. It never gets old. I love also, what's the Italian restaurant right across the street? I'm blanking on the name. That's one of my
Bistro Don
favorites.
Giovanni.
Oh, that's really good too. They have a really good bolognese. Really good. I love bolognese, and they've got a really good one.
Oh,
But no, it's right
you're
across
thinking
from.
of Bottega, Michael
Yes,
Chiarella's place.
thank you. Yes, I
May
love
he rest
Bottega.
in peace.
Yeah.
That's great. We typically go there every time we're in Napa,
Yeah.
which
What
is
are some of your favorites?
Well, I would say Bottega for sure is great. Charter Oak, Chris.
Yeah,
You went to
one of my
Charter Oak?
favorites, Charter Oak. Yep, yep,
And Mustards.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, we like to eat out when we're there. So we
Yeah, some great food. Bistro Gentil is really good too.
Bistro Gentil. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we've
In
had some
fact,
good experiences at Goose and Gander
Oh, I haven't been
yes,
to
at St.
Goose and
Helena.
Gander.
it's up in
Yep,
St.
yep,
Helena.
yep, yeah.
On the last visit, we went to O'Shaughnessy, which is up on Howell Mountain. Beautiful, beautiful property. Never been there before. And the gentleman by the name of Bob, who did our tasting, was a bartender at Bistro Gentil for 10 years.
Oh,
And he said he knows where all the bodies are hidden.
I'm sure.
Yes. Okay, let's see what wine teaches about life. We'll talk philosophy. What has wine taught you about people, parents, or otherwise?
It's taught patience, right? You can't rush a good bottle. And just like when you're raising kids or communicating, dealing with people, even dealing with adults, it's exhibiting patience is the best thing that you can do. It takes time to mold a good wine and a good child.
What about box wine?
Um, I'm not a fan. I know they're stepping up some of the game, but I'm not into I like a wine out of a bottle. I don't even want it out of a can. There's just something about opening a bottle of wine and the preservation of it all. I'm a bottle of wine girl, but it's funny because my best friend since first grade, um, her mom was always a big wine drinker and had very fine taste. And as she got older, she recently passed and we were cleaning out her house. She was at a home and we opened the fridge and there was box wine in there. And we were like, oh, like, what happened to Hannah?
Back to the book. So you have
Right.
13 chapters. And again, I have the cliff notes about it. You kind of talked to, really about the overview of it. What's your favorite chapter?
Well, I can read a little excerpt if you'd like.
Yes,
I mean,
we would love
there's
that.
two. Okay, there's two. So I'm not going to read this one, but one of the chapters I like is your kid a mulled wine? This is more of, I mean, it's written in a light, fun tone, but the content is more serious because it's really upsetting how, I'm going to take this real deep now again. It's really sad these days how many kids are taking their own lives, and it's
Mm,
very upsetting. It's, um, since 2001 is, I mean, there's been over 52% increase from kids 10 to 18. I mean, it's just, I mean, we hear about it more too with social media, right? Of
mhm.
kids taking their
Yeah.
own lives. And anyway, so that chapter is your kid a mulled wine? We know mulled wines are served heated, it's spiced, served as a punch. So
Mhm.
that's meant to correlate with, understand if your kid outside the home is heated, spiced, packing a punch at school. Is he a bully? Because you need to nip that in the bud. But this chapter I'll read is you don't want your kids to ferment. As we know, ferment is turning sugar into alcohol, right? So alcohol is considered harsh, and turning sugar sweet into something not sweet. So I said, you don't want your kids to ferment. This is about teaching your kids manners. So I'll read a portion of this. There's nothing worse than a child who has behavior that is crude, because it'll continue as they're older and become someone who's rude. People don't take kindly to and aren't nice to those with attitude, because it's very off-putting and puts others in a bad mood, oftentimes causing confrontation and leads to a nasty feud, wanting to put a little bit of poison in your child's food. Is that really how you want your kids to be viewed? Wouldn't you prefer there's someone that's wooed? Without manners, they'll ferment and turn into someone harsh and biting. They may turn into a kid who's rude, obnoxious, and always fighting. So teach your kids some manners and to have some heart and soul. Without that, your kid may well turn into an a-hole.
I love it. Well said. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So it's meant to, evoke laughs and teach about wine and,
Sure.
hopefully they're poignant lessons as well. Nobody wants a kid that's fresh and doesn't have
It's
good
like a little
manners.
thinking.
That's listen, that that was really cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad you read
Thank
that
you.
to us.
Thank you so much.
Now, where can our listeners, where can somebody find your book?
It's available on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. And it's in Kindle format, but it's hardcover is really how it's meant to be
Sure.
consumed. It's a great gift book, especially if somebody's having a baby shower, but anybody that's a parent, exasperated aunt or uncle, wine lover, just somebody that loves a good humor book. It's really for everybody.
And what a great Christmas gift as we're coming out ahead of Christmas. And in fact, this episode is going to air on Cyber Monday. So that's perfect time to go to Amazon, A Wine Lover's Guide to Parenting for all those parents out there.
It's a great Christmas gift if you package the book with a bottle of wine and a gift card to SoNapa Grille.
There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it any
Christmas is
better.
done. Christmas shopping is done.
All in one basket.
That's it.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being on here with us. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. It was great. I'll have to send you guys a copy of the book, so please send me the address and I'll send
Yes,
that your
please
way.
do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And listen, if you do come to town or pass through, you've got to let us know. Your mom's in Boca.
Absolutely. Yes, mom's in Boca, so absolutely. I'll let you guys know, and you have to let me know if you're up in Napa. And thanks for all the support at your restaurant with our Moet Hennessy brands. Keep
welcome.
up the good work.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, have a happy
Take care.
Thanksgiving. Thank you so much.
You
Yes.
too.
Hey everyone, Adam here with a quick heads up for Grapes and Debates family. This Monday, December 1st, it's Cyber Monday. We're doing something special at SoNapa Grille. All year long, we've shared incredible food, unforgettable wines, and a lot of fun with you. Today is your choice to jump in on a little extra. When you purchase $100 in SoNapa gift cards, you'll receive a $30 bonus card on us. No code words, no giveaways today, just a simple way to treat yourself while supporting a restaurant you believe in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting SoNapa Grille. We hope to see you tonight. Taste, toast together.